So today I want to talk about myself, the basement, Supreme Talk, and what I do. So basically I help administrate two groups on Facebook, the basement and Supreme Talk. And I'd say I've got a little bit of a presence in them, not massive but not tiny. So I've been admin of both of them since about January, February this year, and a lot of people said I've been doing a good job, so I don't know. Supreme Talk was started in February 2013, and the basement was started in January 2014. Now, I joined Supreme Talk when it was November 2013, and I used to buy some clothes from there, have some little discussions, and people just realised that I was really legitimate and I helped some people, and then I became an admin basically. Supreme Talk was started by Adam Bethel and Peter Mitchell over Xbox Live, and basically there was like no UK groups for Supreme. They were advertising it on Hypebeast and Reddit, and that just kind of went from there. The basement was started because people kept posting non-Supreme and Supreme Talk. My friend Felix came up with the name for the basement. The basement has 20,000 members, Supreme Talk has 18,000. Can be a bit stressful at times. I've been in the basement since the first day that it was made. The basement started making clothing in about May, June 2014. In April I released 100 t-shirts and 50% of the money went to charity. Went to Crohn's disease charity, we raised £214. In November or December I released a t-shirt with the basement. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt that someone in the basement designed, my friend Rory John. I don't know if you can see it. It's called the American Psycho tee. I've actually got some questions that people have wanted me to answer. So why and how did the basement start? The basement started in January 2014 and Felix came up with the name. It started because people just kept posting in Supreme Talk, non-Supreme, and they were like sorry for non-Supreme, and there just wasn't really a group for streetwear and like-minded discussion. Plans for the basement's future. So we're releasing a pop-up shop in London for 3 days, August the 20th until August the 22nd. See a lot more like-minded people posting in there. Would we ever open a streetwear store in London? Well, we are for 3 days, August the 20th till the 22nd. Where do I think the basement will be in 5 years' time? I think the basement will have a full-time store. I think we'll have about 40,000 members, maybe 50,000. I think we'll be releasing a lot more clothing. I don't really know where I think the basement will be in 5 years. Still around, I hope. Still relevant. Who would I like to see the basement collab with? It depends how in-depth we're going. I'd really like to see us collab with Vans, but I don't know if that is ever going to be possible. I hope it would be possible, but I don't know. Am I going to make any other t-shirts or merchandise? I actually wanted to release something this month, July or August, but I don't know if that's going to be possible now with everything going on. I wanted to do not a t-shirt because I think t-shirts are a little bit overdone. I wanted to do like a jacket or a hoodie. I don't know. I would like to. What is the worst situation I've come across? Probably there was a guy who was pretending that his granddad had cancer, and he was trying to raise money so he could sell his car. I can't remember. He was trying to sell his granddad's car so he could live good in his final like months. But it was a really dodgy profile, it was a really dodgy link. I think the guy was from like Kenya, but he was saying that he was selling a car in like LA or something. It was a really horrible situation, and I put it out on all the groups, like even groups I'm not an administrator on. I was just telling everyone about it. I didn't like that. Where do I see myself in 5 years' time? Future aspirations. Employed. I haven't ever been employed, mostly because of health. I have Crohn's disease. Healthier, happier. I want to live in Southampton still. I've had a few offers to live in London. I've had someone say that they'll be able to get me a job in London and they'll be able to house me in London, and although it would be great and I love London, I think I'd rather stay in Southampton. I couldn't imagine not driving around, and all my family are here, you know. Best looking guy and girl in the basement. Best looking guy is undoubtedly Taylor Prince Fraser. You just got to look at the guy's body. Best looking girl, this is awkward, isn't it? Is Molly Brellick in the basement? I don't know. I don't actually pay that much attention to the girls in the basement. Most influential basement member who has done the most for the group. There's so many people, you know. You got Paolo, you got Andy, you got Dutty. All three of them have done a lot for me. Paolo got me admin, basically. Although it wasn't up to, like, it wasn't just up to him, but I think he pushed for it a lot. Peter really liked how I was doing as admin. I'd probably say Andy because of all the free proxying he used to do when his name was Hampton. Some of the stuff that the basement did that wasn't to do with fashion. Well, we've recovered stolen goods quite a few times. I remember one that was actually in Southampton. Favourite basement collab so far? Either the t-shirt I did with them, with my face on, or the Cult Gloria, the first or the second collab. Probably the second Cult Gloria collab, the short sleeve. I really like the short sleeve where it says "Don't look in the basement" on the back. That's cool. How do I feel about the basement becoming this big, the positive aspects and negative aspects? Where do I see chances and what do I fear about the development? Now this guy somewhat enjoyed it more when the group... Well, this is a hard one. The other admins. No, I am positive about it having more members, but I do think that there needs to be moments where it is capped, where you don't allow anyone in, because like if there's too many people, like there's always going to be idiots come in the group, and we need to monitor that. We need to get rid of some of them. Like there's a big banned list, not massively banned list, but like people scam, people act like idiots, people are racist. Like we need to get rid of that. And if we let in 2,000 people in, then 100 of them, 50 of them are probably going to be idiots. I don't want to let people miss out on joining it, because it is great. It is a really good group to be in. You see a lot of cool stuff. You meet a lot of good people. So it has positives and negatives. You don't want it to be overcrowded with idiots. It is a community, it is a safe place to be, a good place to be. What's my favourite post or thread that's been in the basement? Someone had a Goyard wallet, really expensive, and there was a big blue shit on it, like a little animated poo, and that was probably the best thread I've ever seen. It was brilliant. Did I ever expect the basement to get as big as it is and pull such a wide audience? No way. I thought it would be about 10,000 members, 8,000 members because of how many numbers we had in Supreme Talk. But like the amount of different people, like there's loads of people in the basement that don't even like Supreme, like they hate it. And I think that's great. I think it's amazing how we pulled together such a different variety of people. And when we were at Crep City a few months back, like, you're just meeting people from all walks of life, and like people travelled down. I met a guy from Sweden and France and Germany. I met Quills, that was cool. What I wanted from the basement when it first began and what I think it's now become. I wanted it to be a place where people didn't talk about Supreme. I wanted it to be more brands, like basement is streetwear, Palace, Stussy, maybe not Stussy now so much since they've gone in like Urban Outfitters and that. People ain't really into that as much. But just a group to talk about good brands. We do talk about Supreme in there, but I don't think we actually realised that it would ever be like that. It now seems that people like to talk about Supreme in the basement as well, but I suppose it's good that it's just not solely Supreme. It's become a bit weird. It is good though. Like some of the things people think it's Google, it's not Google. Google's better. Well, depends. You want a bunch of like 20-year-olds answering all your personal problems. Do I think the basement will grow older together, or will the influx of new members keep the average age as it is? I think it's always going to be 20 to 30-year-olds, always. The average age probably 21, is it 23, something like that I reckon the average age is. It will be cool to see a lot more older people in there. I know there is a few at the moment, not loads, but they are appreciated just as much. Do I think people will grow old with these trends as younger generations make new ones, or will the basement slowly change so that we follow trends as they change? If Supreme turns into what Obey has turned into, and hype. Well, if Supreme becomes shit, then probably a lot of people aren't going to be in that group anymore. But it's not just Supreme, so I don't know. The basement probably will see new brands come into it. Like you see Gosha in it. I'm not into it, but some people are. There's a lot of Gosha been going around. I don't know. I'm trying to sit here and predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope that it's still going to be relevant if people are still enjoying it in there, and I hope the brands don't turn into something crap. Like, I don't want to see Supreme stocked in Top Man, you know? What's the basement done for me personally? Met new people, discovered new interests. Oh, the basement has done more for me than I could ever imagine. Like, I'm more confident, I get to meet more people. I've got a somewhat good presence in the group's streetwear community. It's enabled me to stay in London for free, which is always great. I can now go up to London like 2-3 times a year. I can now go up to Supreme and know them all. Like when I was in London last, we was walking in stores, we knew the people on a first name basis. It was surreal. The basement's probably improved my confidence. The basement's made me feel more comfortable in being myself, like, I don't know. How does the basement affect my real life? Makes me a bit more stressed, I guess. When I'm sat there, people PMing me every day, like, why have I been banned? Oh, can you help me with this? Like, I love it, but when I'm trying to see my girlfriend and I'm trying to do this or do that, like, sometimes I'll wake up at about 8 PM in the morning and I have about 20 messages that I need to read through. But the positives come with the negatives. I'm not going to sit here and complain about what I do every day because I do enjoy it. And although it is busy and it is stressful, it's great at the same time, you know? As an admin, what is the worst thing someone has said or done that I've had to deal with? When the guy said about his granddad having cancer, that's really bad. And he was trying to raise money and it was just so suspicious. It didn't, like, I don't think that he was raising money. I think he was lying and he was trying to use that. It's like, people scam. People do fucked up scams. It's horrible. Where do I think the basement's relation with Supreme has come from? I think it's just basically because the admins of the basement are the admins of Supreme Talk. And there is, when people want to sell something, they'll post it in Supreme Talk and the basement, which at first I disagreed with, but now I can see why. I mean, the basement is more active. Do I think that the basement is an overall positive force in the world of street fashion, and for what reason? Yes, I do. We are one of the first groups to ban people from saying this is a rate price, which I think is a great move. We're helping people with price checks. We're stopping people getting scammed. We're stopping people paying over the odds for stuff. If people have personal problems, they can talk to people on there. Like, I've had loads of people message me about their personal life problems, and I've talked to them throughout it. It's just nice to meet like-minded people and know some people that ain't really know any friends, and they've made people on there. They've made friends on there, you know? We go to events and we're nice about things. We have debates a lot about things, but they're always good. If I could go back and change something about the groups, what would I do? Why? Well, if we want to introduce something, we just introduce it. We don't have to go back. If it was up to me, what would I go back and change? I'd have probably not fucked around for how long as I did. Like making jokes and that. I could have probably become an administrator a lot sooner if I was a lot more serious. What is the best situation I've had to deal with as an admin? I'm going to skip that question. What plans are there for the pop-up, e.g. any new releases or exclusives? There's a lot of good plans for the pop-up. I can't really talk about them yet. I'm going to talk to the administrators after I do this video and see what they want me to say about the pop-up, because I don't want to say something and then not be allowed. So I want to give a special shout out to Dutty Streetwear and Paolo for always helping me throughout. I got to shout out Peter Mitchell as well. I got to shout out Jake Hartwell for helping me be sterner, more firm with people when people take the piss. So basically, I run 2 Facebook groups, the Basement and Supreme Talk. The Basement has 20,000 members and Supreme Talk has 18,000 members. And I don't work, I'm on income support. I'm not going to say much about that because I suffer from Crohn's disease. I have been doing a lot better lately. I've been going on walks every day, most days. I've lost a stone, I now weigh 12.2. I was 13.3. But yeah, so thanks for watching this video. There's going to be another one this week. I will soon be showing all the basement merchandise. We've been making merchandise for about a year now, just over a year. I'm going to show all my Supreme collection. I've got a lot of videos planned, so thank you for watching.